My parents told me to never trust the new neighbor because he spied on the kids, so I spied on him instead, and what I discovered made me realize why my parents said what they said. I was 10 when Dr. Boogeyman moved into the neighborhood. At first I thought he looked cool. He wore these huge Prada sunglasses, always carried a tote bag with a book inside, and had icy blue eyes filled with wisdom. But when my parents saw me interacting with him, they punished me. Nothing severe, just a stern talking to. Turns out, he was a pediatrician that had lost his practice for unauthorized procedures on minors, meaning he was accused of feeding them unlicensed medication for experimental purposes. But back then, I didn't know what that meant, so they just told me he was the boogeyman, and if I talked to him for too long, I would turn to stone. This made sense to me, because everyone else steered clear of him too. Neighbors crossed streets to avoid him. The school bus driver skipped his stop even though kids lived nearby. His hello or good morning was always met with silence or the extremely awkward white person smile. But I was a pretty rebellious kid, the type to push cookies from the shopping market shelf into the trolley when my mom told me no sugar. And I had watched so much Percy Jackson that I even had a crush on Medusa, so I thought turning into stone would be pretty cool. So I started paying attention to him to see if what my parents were saying was true. And in my journey of borderline stalking Dr. Boogeyman, I noticed something. He spent almost all of his time outside, specifically walking up and down Pine Street, the wealthiest area within a 5-mile radius. TBH, me and my parents all thought he was panhandling or something, because he didn't know anyone that lived there. In fact, the bougie adults treated him even worse than we did. They'd spit on the ground beside him, scoff, or even whisper things like traitor. But none of that stopped him from taking a gander around the neighborhood and peeping over the fence towards the kids' playground. So I followed his gaze, and yes, his eyes would run along their bodies, but it wasn't in a creepy way, because he'd stroke his goatee and scrunch up his face, almost as if he was in deep concentration, like the way a parent examines their child's knee when they fall on the concrete. One afternoon in summer, I was passing by an alleyway beside Pine Street. I had never walked down it before, because I was scared that it'd smell like pee. But that day, I could hear what sounded like someone my age crying, and curiosity got the better of me. So I sneaked over to take a peek, and that's when I saw it. Dr. Boogeyman on his knees for a kid in my class, Sammy, treating a cut on his back. Sammy saw me first, and immediately cried out, "Please don't tell my mom." That's when Dr. Boogeyman turned to me with a look of terror in his eyes. Sammy immediately sat up. "The adults are lying, Leo. He's not the boogeyman. His name is Dr. Bumble. He helps heal me when mommy and daddy hit me." Dr. Bumble cut in.